The 25th District Rotary International holds its 30th annual conference in Salisbury. It was opened by Lord Llewellyn, who was welcomed by Sir Charles Mortimer, Governor nominee of the Rotary District. This year, incidentally, Rotary International celebrates its Golden Jubilee. As he entered the conference hall, His Excellency received a warm welcome, which continued as he made his way to the stage. The stage was decorated with the Rotary emblem and the flags of Britain, the United States, and Commonwealth countries. In his opening address, Lord Llewellyn suggested steps Rotary might take to further Central Africa's great experiment under federation. Much can be achieved by Rotary's ideals of service and proven powers for good. Indeed, throughout the world, the fellowship of Rotary goes from strength to strength. 7,000 Roman Catholics are gathered at St. George's College, Salisbury, to witness the establishment of the ecclesiastical hierarchy of Southern Rhodesia and the installation of Archbishop Chichester as Archbishop of Salisbury. Today's solemn ceremony marks the climax of 75 years of Catholic work in Rhodesia. The Holy Father was represented by his papal delegate to Southern Africa, the Most Reverend Archbishop C. Damiano, and Her Majesty the Queen was represented by His Excellency the Governor, Vice Admiral Sir William Paulet. The raising of Southern Rhodesia's ecclesiastical status is a reward for many years of striving, to which Archbishop Chichester himself has given 25 years of service. With papal blessing, Catholics reaffirm their faith as Southern Rhodesia assumes the responsibilities of a hierarchy. Ten miles outside Lusaka is the Mount Makulu Agricultural Research Station. A tree planting ceremony was included in the official opening by the Governor, Sir Arthur Benson, and bending to his task with a will, he made a right-handy job of it. Though officially open today, the Makulu Research Station started operations 2 years ago. The British government gave £150,000 to build it through the Colonial Research Fund, and it's the only installation of its kind in Northern Rhodesia. Modern equipment and modern techniques can now be brought to bear on numerous problems that face agriculture, and science pushes back the horizons of limited food production. Farming today is too vital for guesswork. Crop diseases and developing strains resistant to diseases are studied under controlled experiments, and only then is it wise to extend operations to field scale. Several hundred experiments are carried out at Makulu simultaneously, covering a wide field of inquiry. Grasses are of the utmost importance, both in building up the soil and as fodder. If most of the questions can be answered before farmers plant a crop, endless disappointment and grief can be avoided. Towards promoting balanced farming, Makulu is experimenting with a fine herd of jerseys, and they're testing a new method of dipping. Better methods, fewer losses, higher and more profitable yields. These are all benefits Makulu is seeking for the Federation. Salisbury gathers outside the town house to confer its highest honor upon its greatest citizen. Today the Mayor, Councillor J.W. Swan, on behalf of the people of Salisbury, confers the freedom of the city upon Lord Malvern, the Federal Prime Minister. A resident of Salisbury for 44 years and a parliamentary representative for 32 years, Lord Malvern has well deserved the honor of adding his name to the Freeman's Book. In recognizing his outstanding services, the city of Salisbury could do no more. It could do no less. The Lusaka Flying Club organized an extremely enterprising air rally. Among the items programmed was the Herald Trophy race for light planes, flown over a distance of 45 miles. The Old Faithful, the Tigermoths, was much to the fore, and as each circuit was only 15 miles, the aircraft were never out of view for long. Tigermoths filled the first 3 places, and it was pilots from Southern Rhodesia who scooped the kitty. The Herald Trophy went to Mr. Klein of Gatuma. Another crowd pleaser was an aerobatic display in a type of light monoplane used extensively during the war for artillery spotting. Furthermore, this aircraft had proved its reliability when it was flown out from England by a woman pilot. Undoubtedly, the screaming success of the rally was the Royal Rhodesian Airforce's flying of vampires. Best thing for me to do is just let you sit back and enjoy it. Their Excellencies, the Governor-General of Mozambique, Flag Captain Gabriel Teixeira, and Senora de Teixeira, pay an official visit to the Federation. They were welcomed on Salisbury Station by His Excellency the Governor-General Lord Llewellyn, accompanied by his sister. This good neighbourly visit is Flag Captain Teixeira's fourth to Southern Rhodesia. Also on hand to pay their compliments were Lord and Lady Malvern and a number of dignitaries whose welcome was acknowledged with grace and charm. Then followed an impressive state drive through the streets of Salisbury, with a mounted escort from the BSA police. The cavalcade swept along at easy pace, making its way to Government House, where the distinguished visitors were entertained during their stay in Salisbury. With fine courtesy, immediately upon his arrival, Flag Captain Teixeira inspected and complimented the police mounted escort. Their sightseeing started with a drive to the kopje overlooking Salisbury, where on foot they climbed to the summit. Erected on this vantage point is the Toposcope, a monument to the early pioneers of Rhodesia. On the foundations laid by those pioneers, the Federation is building rapidly and well, as the view from this point amply confirms. Salisbury's tobacco auctions are always fascinating to visitors. Amid what appears to be chaos, there's an orderly judgment of price and quality. Some of the finer points were explained to the visitors before the auctioneer rattled through the sales that mean so much to the Federation's profit and loss account. 17 miles west of Salisbury, Their Excellencies visited Mr. Lilford's mixed farm, Dawnfontein. Though less obvious and less spectacular than the Federation's industrial progress, tremendous strides are being made in agriculture, and the farming community is achieving great things. Not far from here, a picnic was arranged at Salisbury's resort, Lake Makulu. It's a man-made lake serving the double purpose of providing a water supply and recreational facilities. Such informal excursions add immensely to the pleasure of official visits. Back in Salisbury, the Central African Archives were visited. The Chief Archivist, Mr. V.W. Hiller, welcomed them to this priceless storehouse of historic documents and relics. Preserved here for posterity are many early maps, in which imagination, hearsay, and rumors filled in the gaps left by lack of exploration. Yet armed with these, adventurers pushed back the frontiers of the unknown. Among other priceless relics is David Livingstone's letter describing his first impressions of the Victoria Falls. In the dry crackle of old paper, one hears the tread of adventure in its quest for new worlds and riches which gave purpose and background to a modern world.